Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. You know we love to dig into the most baffling stories out there, and today we've got a case that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. We're heading over to Xinghua Village in China, a seemingly ordinary place where two brothers vanished into thin air.
And this isn't just any disappearance, oh no. We're talking about a case that spirals, and spirals fast into a dark and twisted tale of, well, you'll hear for yourselves. Let's just say the truth is way more unsettling than anything we could make up.
So picture this. April 2010, Xinghua Village. A group of hungry construction workers are waiting for their lunch. But there's a problem. The cook, 65-year-old Lu Xiyun, is nowhere to be found. Poof, gone.
Vanished. And what makes this even stranger is that Shiyun had been out of work for a good while before taking this cooking job. It was his first in ages, so naturally this sudden disappearance raised eyebrows.
It's not like he was going to ditch the job on a whim, right? Yeah. And as you can imagine, his younger brother, Lu Laoluo, was worried sick. So he sets out to find his brother. But get this, just 2 days later.
Yeah, 2 days. That's the scary part. Laoli disappears too.
Like, what are the chances?
Exactly. The police, who initially brushed off Shiyun's disappearance, they had to take notice. Two brothers, gone. Just like that, within days of each other. Something was seriously wrong.
Red flags everywhere. So what did the police do? They had to start looking for answers, right?
Well, right, and their investigation led them to Laoli's phone records. And there it was, a connection to a woman named Su Hong, the village doctor.
The village doctor. Okay, now that's interesting. What's a village doctor got to do with all this?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And that's what we're going to unpack together right here, right now. So we've got these missing brothers, and the only lead the police have is this connection to the village doctor, Su Hong. You'd think, what could a doctor possibly have to do with this?
Right, a village doctor, of all people. It's like something out of a mystery novel. So
Yeah.
what happens? Do the police bring her in for questioning?
They do. And when they ask Su Hong about the phone calls, her response is, well, unexpected.
Let me guess. She denies knowing them. Claims she's never even met these brothers.
No, not quite. Su Hong actually admits to knowing them, even borrowing money from both. 5,000 yuan from Shiyun and 10,000 from Lao Liu. Said she needed it for her children's medical expenses.
Okay, so we've got a financial link, but was it enough of a motive for murder? And did she ever pay them back?
Well, that's the thing. Su Hong insists she pay them back, every last yuan. And get this, other villagers backed up her story. Said she was a good person, always repaid her debts.
Wow. Okay, so we've got witnesses vouching for her character, saying she's good for her money. This is a tough one. Where do the police even go from here?
It's a real head-scratcher, right? But then, just when they're starting to think they've hit a dead end, the case takes a wild turn.
Oh, I love wild turns. What happens? Spill the tea.
On May 10th, Lao Li's sister receives a text message, seemingly from Lao himself.
Come on, from beyond the grave. That's creepy.
Exactly. And in this message, guess what he says? He confesses to killing Shuyun, said it happened during a drunken brawl, that it was an accident. He says he panicked and fled the village because he was scared of getting caught.
A confession via text message. Talk about convenient timing. Did the police buy it?
Not for a second. Remember how I mentioned Lao Li wasn't exactly a scholar? Turns out he could barely write. Yet this message, it was perfectly composed, grammatically sound, no errors.
So someone was trying to pull a fast one, trying to clear Su Hong's name. Did the police think she was behind it?
Let's just say they were highly suspicious. I mean, think about it. These exonerating messages pop up right after they question her. But then, to make matters even more complicated, one of Lao Li's other brothers comes forward.
Another brother? How many brothers were there?
This case is full of surprises, isn't it? Anyway, this brother tells the police that Lao Li, one night, while he was drunk, he had confided in him, said something really chilling.
Uh-oh, this can't be good. What did he say?
He said, and I quote, "If I die, it will be Su Hong who kills me."
Whoa, that's a pretty direct statement. Not exactly something you just brush off.
Exactly. That statement, coupled with the suspicious text messages, well, it raised all sorts of red flags for the police. So they decide to bring Su Hong back in for another round of questioning. And this time, they focused on something she had been particularly cagey about, a cellar in her home.
A cellar? What's so strange about a cellar? Seems pretty normal to me.
It does, doesn't it? Especially because in Heilongjiang, where Xinghua Village is, almost every house has a cellar. It's mainly for storing food during the brutal winters they have up there. But when they asked her about it, Su Hong, she became evasive, almost panicked, denied even having one.
Okay, so she's lying about something. Maybe it's nothing, but more likely it's everything. What did the police find down there? Well, she couldn't hide it forever, right? Did
Uh,
they finally get into that cellar?
Oh, they did. They moved those piles of junk, pried that cellar door open, and I tell you, the smell that hit them, it was rancid, really putrid. Like something had died down there, and, well, something had.
Oh no, they didn't find.
They found them, both of them, Shuyun and Leoliu, wrapped in sheets, hidden in that cellar.
That's awful. So Su Hong, the village doctor, she's arrested, right? Right then and there.
Oh, absolutely. Game over. Faced with that kind of evidence, she confessed to everything, both murders. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? Her confession, it was just the tip of the iceberg.
There's more. What? What else could there be?
Remember I mentioned that awful smell? Well, while they were down there, the police found another skeleton, and it wasn't either of the brothers.
Oh my God, who else was down there?
It was Li Swain, Su Hong's sister-in-law. She had disappeared 5 years earlier, and nobody had seen her since. Vanished without a trace, or so everyone thought.
So Su Hong, she killed 3 people. Her sister-in-law and the 2 brothers.
It gets even more complicated. Su Hong, she confessed to killing Su Ying back in 2005. Said that Su Ying had come back to the village demanding money. When Su Hong refused, Su Ying started spreading nasty rumors about her.
Well, that's cold. But still, murder.
Su Hong, she'd been through a lot. An abusive husband, struggling to provide for her family, and then Su Ying shows up, stirring up trouble. It all just boiled over. She strangled Su Ying in a fit of rage and hid the body in the cellar. Used the trash and waste to cover up the smell.
Wow, it's like something out of a horror movie. So what happened to Su Hong? What did the court decide?
The whole country was glued to this case. Some people thought she was a cold-blooded killer, but others, they saw her as a victim herself. Pushed too far.
Yeah, I can see that. It's not so black and white, is it?
Exactly. She was found guilty, of course, all 3 murders. But here's the thing. Su Hong, she seemed to want the death penalty. She even asked the court to hurry up the process. The only thing she cared about were her kids. She was devastated that she wouldn't be there to protect them. It was heartbreaking.
That is really sad. Did she get what she wanted?
She did. Su Hong was executed in 2012, the end of a truly tragic and complex case.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Mm.
About justice and desperation and how far someone might go when they feel trapped.
It does. And, sometimes the most disturbing cases, they're the ones that force us to ask the tough questions. The ones with no easy answers. That's what makes a case like Su Hong's stay with you long after the lights go down.